Welcome to the Laker family.
Hey.
Welcome back, guys. I'm going to be getting into last night's game between the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies. It was another very nail-biting type of a game, and it shouldn't have been. I thought we were going to make quick work of this team, especially after the mistakes and the performances that we put up against a team that's similar to this team, which was the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're both similar in where they are in the standings, and they're like at the bottom of the Western Conference. And I thought we had kind of learned a lesson at how close the past two games had been against OKC, that we would learn our lesson and come out and put our foot on the Grizzlies' neck and finish them quickly, but we didn't do that, which leads to a few concerns for me. I stated in my last video that I felt like we didn't need to hit the panic button just yet on thinking about any potential trades, but last night kind of made me pause for a little bit with some of the things that I've had saw, particularly guys like Cook and Dudley. They Troy Daniels. They had maybe one or two good games thus far in the season, and when they all clicked together, we looked absolutely dominant. But the bad thing about it is they don't come through regularly, and we're not left looking dominant. We're left looking like we're in a dogfight with mediocre or lesser teams, and we shouldn't be. I know it's early still, and we're getting a lot of the pieces together, trying to get everybody acclimated on their spots and their roles, but we still shouldn't be in dogfights nightly against mediocre teams like that. So it gives me a little pause for concern, especially when we get ready to play tougher teams, and once our schedule becomes harder, because we've had a light schedule so far, so a mediocre to light schedule, and we haven't looked that elite of late. Now, I believe it's mainly because of the two things I always told y'all that was X factors for this team, which was Kyle Kuzma getting back to the level that we know he can, and our bigs. That was everybody. That was mine and most of everybody's X factors coming into the season, and those were the advantages that we had against teams like the Clippers or 76ers, teams like that, that we could go rely on our big man to do dirty work down low and have that X factor with Kyle Kuzma to go along with our other two duo stars. But as of late, neither one of those have looked overly good. Dwight Howard, yes, he had some good moments in the game last night, clogging the paint up, doing some great things defensively, deterring shots, but their level of productivity has dropped off. Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee, their level of just wrecking havoc, cleaning up the glass. They're dominating the boards, blocking shots, altering all kind of shots, catching lob passes. Both getting about maybe 10 to 12 points between the both of them. That type of effort is what gives us that slight advantage over top teams like the Clippers and Boston and teams, Nuggets, teams like that. Without that, we look like we're brought back down to the pack a little bit there. So it's like a night and day difference. When the bench is all clicking, when Kuzma gets us 18 to 20 points, and the big man down low are wreaking havoc, Bradley, Avery Bradley completes this team. He's a very underrated piece to this team, and he was like one of the main reasons why we're top team defensively as well. Do y'all see the way these guards have been just eating us up lately? Yes, Rondo has a pesky side to him. Yes, Caruso tries. Caldwell Pope tries. But Bradley has the tools to defend. Like you can tell, Bradley has the actual tools to be able to keep people in front of him and disrupt things. These opposing point guards have been eating too easily. Ja Morant had a field day yesterday. Just to put it quite frank, he had a field day. He looked like a freaking all-star already at this young age. So we need to hurry up and get Bradley back. I know he had a fracture or something like that in his leg, which I do take serious, but he's very much missed at this point. And it's to get back to whether or not I feel like we need to trade. Troy Daniels, maybe because he's not doing what he was brought in to do. He hasn't done that enough. You know, he has like a little spurt here and there, but it's nothing significant. Cook did not play last night, and I highly believe that's because of his poor play. So he has to step that up. Dudley, I just don't feel like he's a. He can get you a couple of threes here and there, you know, but he's nothing too significant as far as what we're doing. So I mean, you know, if you would want to package those for something, then yeah, maybe. I hear a lot of people, you know, bashing Kyle Kuzma. You know, he had a terrible game. He did. His IQ looked horrible. You know, even when he did a good play at the end of the game, stole the ball, it's like he gave it right back. It's like nothing could go right for Kyle Kuzma last night. I don't know what it is. I know that we had to give him some time, but he shouldn't look that bad. Like last night bad. He shouldn't look last night bad. There's no excuse for that. Kuzma, you're my guy, but you know, I'm going to keep it real. There was no excuse for that poor of a performance. If you kept it in the 12 to 15 range, I could, you know, work around that with you. You know, just, you know, give him a few more games to get his feet wet. But that performance last night was unacceptable. I know you can do better. Just like I was frustrated with KCP because I knew he could do better. I know you can do better. So I wouldn't necessarily say, oh, it's time to trade Kyle Kuzma. No, it's way too early for that. And I hear a lot of fans and they, you know, casuals. I know there must be casuals when they come out with stuff like, oh, we should have maybe we should have kept Ingram or this and that. Kuzma looked like trash while Ingram looked great last night. You know, I don't want to hear it. Just stop it. I don't want to hear it. It's too late. I'm going to speak a little bit more on that when we play the Pelicans, which is Wednesday. Ingram might go off on us and make y'all fair weather fans. How quickly y'all change our mind. He'll make y'all even go more into of a rage. But yet I still don't want to hear it because I tried to tell y'all that Ingram was the better player and more one-on-one capable, but y'all said he was a ball hog, all this, that, and the third, he's not going to fit, blah, 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 blah. We love Kyle Kuzma, blah, blah, blah. I love Kyle Kuzma too, and I know what he can do, but I always tried to tell y'all Ingram had the higher ceiling. Y'all were saying Kuzma was the better fit for this team, which I still believe he's a better fit to go alongside LeBron. Not the better player than Ingram, but he's the better fit to go alongside LeBron. But even that's kind of becoming suspect because his three-point shot is not falling at a high enough clip as I thought he would. Ingram's three has came along like night and day at the start of this season. So again, especially to not to the people that were with the Lakers and knew the situation and knew who was this and that. This is for the people that came over with LeBron from the Cavaliers and thought they knew it all and thought they knew who to trade. And this is for the casuals as well who didn't do their homework. So I don't want to hear it, but I'm going to talk more on that once after we play the Pelicans Wednesday. So we have to work with what we got. Y'all wanted Kuzma. He's here. We have to stand behind him until he gets it together. At point blank, what's done is done. Y'all got what y'all wanted. We have to do with what we have and stick behind the player that's wearing the Laker jersey. Um, uh, so with that being said, it was just sloppy. The sloppy play just continued. It didn't get any better. The things I told y'all that we needed to shore up on, it didn't get any better. Especially the fourth quarter, the same sloppiness. It's like three consecutive sloppy fourth quarters, especially from our leader LeBron, who had a great game. He had a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's just we need him to put that cake on, be the closer. Make sure, especially against a team like that, a lower team like that, get the job done. Too many turnovers, careless plays, and I'm not just singling out LeBron, but since he's the best player on our team, yes, you have to make sure that the team is in a position to not make these silly mistakes that was going on. Just bonehead silly mistakes. KCP continued his great play. I can't leave him out. Kudos to KCP. Anthony Davis had another great game, especially on defensive end, 5 blocks, like 22 points, and he's still waiting from the 3-point range. Thank you, Anthony Davis. And I did notice on one play when he blocked Jaren Jackson's fadeaway attempt, he grabbed at that shoulder again. So he's showing us his toughness because he's trying to get rid of that weak label. Like he's injury prone and that things. He's trying to get that description off of him. Which is a good thing and it could be a bad thing. The good thing is we're seeing his toughness, but the bad thing is if he's willing to tough it out, is it going to hinder that shoulder from progressing or getting healthy? Those are things we have to look at. He was doing one of those rotations with his arm after he blocked it. So that's another little concern to look at and to monitor, to keep an eye on. He possibly could have gave us more than that, but we just don't know the extent of that shoulder injury at this point. I give him kudos for not trying to load management like some guy that they claim to be the best player at the Clippers arena. So yeah, man. I wasn't too overly excited with what I saw last night. We got to do better than that. But I think I rambled on enough. Let's go ahead and get right into the stats with JB.
Anthony Davis, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. LeBron James, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. McGee, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 0 assists. Green, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And Pope, 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Go Lakers!
Go Lakers. And we're going to follow that up with the Oracle. She's going to give us her favorite play of the game.
My favorite part of the game was LeBron stealing the ball in the second quarter, going coast to coast with the second-hand slam.
Oh, okay. That play showed a lot in itself. It showed that LeBron in year 17 still has that burst. If you were to go back and look at that and count the clock, it was like 2 seconds. He stole the ball from one end of the court and was down. He put on a burst of speed and was down at the other court dunking just that quick. That showed he still has that capable burst and youthfulness to him, which is amazing. But the only thing is, I feel like he does get a little tired at stretches. I don't know if it's because he's trying to do too much or has to do too much. But especially in 4 quarters, you can tell when the tiredness kind of kicks in because he starts settling for too many 3-point shots. The whole team as a whole settle for way too many 3-point shots. When we have advantages, so many advantages in the inside with AD and our big man and LeBron scoring down low. It was too many step-back threes, which allowed Memphis to stay in the game. I just wanted to get that little nitbit in there. But you can go ahead with your predictions for the next game.
Okay. I see the Lakers continuing their hot streak against the Spurs this Monday. Go Lakers!
Go Lakers!
Go Lakers.
All right, I like the sound of that. And we all will be back. Well, they won't. They got school and everything. I'll be back to no, yeah, y'all right. Y'all out. They'll be back. They're out for Thanksgiving break. So that's great news. Y'all get to join all of us after that recap of the Spurs game after Monday. So as always, thank y'all for joining us, joining the Laker family. If y'all want to be a part, just like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
You're tempting the smoke. Hey, I got muscles like Superman trainer. Hey, real rare like Super.